What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and welcome back to another photo analysis. This time, I'll be analyzing the cover of Utada Hikaru's album, Fantôme. Alright, so when I look at this album cover, I notice that, it's a close-up shot of Utada Hikaru's face, which is typical. Usually at this point in Utada's career, she's been doing, beauty shots for nearly almost everything. And that's not a slight against her. I'm just saying. I noticed that it's a beauty shot and it's in black and white. Um, and also, I noticed that, Utada is showing a little more skin than usual. Like, usually Utada's like, at least from what I've seen, she's more covered up. She kind of looks like a model to me. She looks like like a supermodel on a go see, or an up and coming model on a go see, stomping the pavement, pounding the pavement, trying to, get a job and make a name for herself. As well, this kind of looks like it could be an ad for some type of a, kind of like clothing store or clothing item or, some type of a fashion ad. And the black and white makes it look, more edgy. And as well, the hairstyle that Utada Hikaru has helps add to the, edgy editorial feel of the photo. And me personally, I like Utada Hikaru's hair like this. I think she has found a hairstyle that really works for her, and she should try this look a lot more often. Um, and she's had something close to this look, but it was a little shorter, so it made her look a little generic. But here, like, she is serving it up. She is serving up like supermodel here. She is serving up a good look here. So checkpoint for Utada Hikaru there. As far as her facial expression is concerned, eh, you know, for Utada Hikaru, it's okay. Like you know, it's not the worst. But I think in this particular situation, it works. It works in this particular situation. Because the title of the album translates to ghost, also perhaps phantom, and her facial expression is a bit mysterious. You don't know quite what she's trying to portray. It's a bit on the nose, not quite here, not quite there. And also, it goes with the moody editorial feel of the shot. It adds to that. So for this particular situation, I'll give Utada a pass on her facial expression. Surprisingly, she does have some body language in this photo. She has her hand on her shoulder. That's a little interesting. That kind of helps add some dynamic to the photo as well. You know, her, I don't know, is her pinky? I think it is her pinky. So yeah, her pinky looks a bit like it's just doing its own thing for some reason. But overall, I think that was a nice touch of Utada to do. The orange font is a bit weird. Orange and black sort of gives me Halloween vibes. I don't know quite if that's what Utada Hikaru was going for, but yeah, I get Halloween vibes from orange and black. And also it sort of, I think it sort of does work, but I think orange is a bit of a clash for the moody feel of this album cover though. Also, if you notice, if you look at the album cover, it's a bit blurry, and I think they did that on purpose. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to portray with the blurriness, other than perhaps kind of like something that isn't quite clear to see. You know, kind of like a situation that isn't like you can't see it clearly. You know. Um, I will say that Utada Hikaru's eyes do sort of look, kind of piercing here. Good job, Utada Hikaru. With the eyes. And I think overall, I think this is a really nice album cover. It sort of surprised me. I didn't expect this. You know, the album. The thing is, like the whole photo shoot is very toned down. It's not really like about the glitz and the glam, but it sort of shows you that I guess Utada Hikaru can deliver a respectable photo without the glitz and the glam. Provided if she kind of like just puts in some effort. I think here it looks like she like put in a little effort for this photo, because usually she doesn't a lot of times, or at least it looks like she doesn't. And Utada Hikaru isn't quite one of those people who can just sit there and they can just take a good photo. She has to do a couple of things to get to a good photo. Like the majority of us, really. Keep it real. Not all of us are like model-esque, model perfect. Although one criticism that I do sort of have is with the way that Utada Hikaru's mouth looks. It looks a little weird. It looks like it's not quite developed, and I think her mouth is like quote unquote developed, but I think that the way that it photographed looked a little weird. You know. Um, and perhaps it was because of the blur effect that they put on the photo, which kind of threw it off. I'm not sure, but her mouth looks a little weird in the photo. Um, Overall, I think Utada delivers a pretty good photo, though, overall. Let's move on to the promotional photo for this album. Alright, so this promotional photo, it sort of looks like it was taken from the exact same photo shoot as the album cover. And here, Utada, looking like a, you know, big shoulder, no neck monster. I'm not quite feeling this. I will say that her face, pretty much the neck up. The neck up is what is the draw of this photo. From the neck down, she sort of looks a little on the masculine side. I'm not sure. Perhaps it's because her shoulders are a little big. Um, Perhaps it's the black that's kind of like concealing her feminine figure, her female figure. Perhaps it's her arms. I don't know, but a little of a masculine look from the neck down. Um, but I'll say her mouth looks better in this photo. Um, I like the hair. And the background's a little drab, a little drab. But overall, it's well, it's a good photo from the neck up. All right, let's move on to the next and final promotional photo. All right, this photo is a little interesting. I don't know if this is a backdrop. I think it is. But yeah, it looks like Utada Hikaru has decided to glam it up for us, and give us like, Utada Hikaru gone glamour queen. And, I appreciate that, Utada. I appreciate Utada, putting forth that effort. I like the red dress that she has. Very simple. Um, and it works. You know, her face could look a little better. Her face is coming off a little kind of like harsh. A little harsh, a little strong. I like the hairstyle. The background is interesting. I don't know quite how it really factors into, I guess, the theme of the photo shoot, but it's interesting. It's something. Um, hmm. I will say that I appreciate the pose that Utada Hikaru is doing. I I think it's good that she showed us her hand so that we'll know or so that we know that she has two arms and not one. Because sometimes you can do poses like that and you only see one arm and it just looks like, okay, where's the other arm? It kind of throws off the photo. But for here, she showed us her hand, so that kind of helped. Okay, we see that, okay, she perhaps has two arms, so it doesn't throw the photo off as much. However, her shoulder looks really big here. I don't know if it's just because Utada Hikaru has big shoulders, or either it's just they caught her shoulder at a weird angle. But I wish that they would have photoshopped that. Edited, and photoshopped her shoulder to make it slimmer. I think that would work a little better for Utada Hikaru and the look that she's given us. Also, I noticed that her hand looks a little weird. Her hand furthest down, it's like she's throwing up like gang signs on the sly. Like she's like, throwing up, West Side for life, you know, East Side till I die. Like I don't know. She's throwing up gang signs on the low. Utada is from New York, so she might have been a part of like a gang. But then again, she's from Manhattan, New York, so I don't know if that's how they roll in Manhattan or not. I'm just saying. you know. But yeah, I appreciate the photo. Um, I will say again, the face. For me, ultimately, I think it's the face that throws things off. The shoulder is bad, but I think the face. I think ultimately the face maybe. It's not a terrible face, but it just looks, I don't know, perhaps overwhelmed by the makeup and the hair, maybe a little harsh. But yeah. All right, so I rank these photos as follows. I rank the album cover as the best photo, and I think it's the best photo because it interprets the theme. Um, Utada Hikaru looks nice on the album cover, and it's in black and white, which adds to a moody editorial feel. Adds sort of a feel to the album as well. The second best photo is um, the second promotional photo. No, she's wearing a red dress, and she's at least attempting to give us, glamour girl. A for effort, Utada. You get an A for effort there. As far as the final product is concerned, being harsh, I would give you probably like a C or C minus, perhaps. You know, well, probably more like a C minus or a D. Being generous, I would give you probably like a C plus, maybe a B minus. All right, and the third best photo is the first promotional photo. And yeah, this photo is, good from the neck up. What can I say? Beauty shots are best for Utada, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I think this is the weakest photo of the three. Yeah, it doesn't really flatter her figure. And yeah, that's it. So what do you guys think? Feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Until the next photo analysis, adios and goodbye for now.